Welcome to Pop On to Pop Off. It's 7:55 and that ain't no jive on this Thursday, the 23rd of January 2025. Was a little warmer today. We're going to get right to some photos cuz I know people tune in and well, look who's here. Look who is here, the first one tonight. That handsome non-devil. That handsome non-devil who just came to my door. He was just at my door, delivered to me personally by the Google Photos. Well, really delivered by the U.S. mail. But there is Todd Bradshaw right there. Hello, Todd Bradshaw, looking handsome. I can understand why your girlfriend likes that look, Tom. Todd, not Tom, but Todd, I can understand 100%. I have to say I'm on her side there. Yeah. Other than that, I wouldn't grow the beard till it's time to audition for Moonshiners season 15. Hopefully there'll be a season 15. So there's Todd. Good looking dude, right? And William Brown, downtown William Brown. I could get a little help. Well, we've been saying that for years, William, and you haven't done it yet, you know? Could I get a little help? That's a loaded question, right? And what does that mean, William Brown? Barbara Kendall. Hello, Jack. Hello, Jack. Welcome. I told you to start your own YouTube channel, William, but of course it takes a while before you can monetize and what have you. She'll love you for saying that, Jack. LOL. You just came in the mail, Todd Bradshaw. You did. Uh-oh. It's not going to be good. I hope you have a place where they provide various services. And nobody's better at that than the state of New York. The state of New York, you have to be here for 6 months before you get benefits, you know. But yeah, that's never good. It's happened to me once or twice. I made the job end for me, at least twice that I can think of. And, you know, it's not a fun thing. But work is pretty plentiful right now. Work is pretty plentiful. I I know I was faced with that sometimes, and I had to get right out there. Of course, now you do apps on the computer. You fill out applications on the computer, and you lose something with that because you don't get you don't get that one-on-one encounter. Sometimes you can win a job just by them seeing you, and if you don't make it that far, it's just like these disability hearings they have today, and it's a phone call, not even a video call, where you don't get to see. You can't make a proper ascertainment if you're a judge. You because sometimes seeing the person tells the whole story. You have to be able to look into their eyes. So these disability hearings, often the wrong people get accepted for you know assistance, and those that are really needy, truly say mentally ill, don't get the help that they need. They don't get the help that they need. Marty Greco, hey Jack, you are on early. It's a pop on to pop off, Marty. It's a pop on to pop off. Hey y'all from Texas. Belinda Taylor is here. Hey everyone, Belinda Taylor is here. Hi, Belinda. Keith Griffiths, hello from, oh, that's a difficult one in the UK. Can't be Lancaster because there already is a Lancaster and you don't live in it, right, Keith Griffiths? Um, Leicester, Leicester, Leicestershire. I'm doing my best. In the UK, I'm glad you're here. Sue A is here. Hi, Jack. How are you? Welcome. And that means there's 21 watching already. 5 likes. I said I would show some pictures, and I know from the title there'll be people that will just want to see that. So let me go to some pictures. We've already showed Todd's handsome face. This is one that came in the Google Photos that I didn't get to show you via my phone. Always rather show you in Google Photos. And that's one of the newer ones that's come in. It's interesting. That's the stern looking, I believe, Robert Wayne Joyce and young Robert Wayne Joyce when he was in the armed forces. I don't know that he was in Germany. And you say, well, Pastor Bob said from the pulpit that he was in Germany. Yes, yes. But you know how I feel. You know how I feel. I believe that stern man you're looking at there and that young chap is not the man who preaches every Sunday at Household of Faith. So when Pastor Bob Joyce says he served in the service in Germany, and I never saw that sermon, but people tell me that they have seen him say that. They watched that particular sermon. Well, yeah, I think there's a good chance he was in Germany, but I don't think that means Robert Wayne Joyce was in the service in Germany. I don't know whether he was or he wasn't. As you know, I think there are two different people. There are two different people. When we were talking about the Sigrid Schultz or Sigrid Schutz, as they say it is, um, versus who we think may be Walina. Well, I was sent this photo, the one with the younger girl, they say is Sigrid Schutz when she was very young. And the person on the right is Sigrid Schutz today, who still lives in Germany, perhaps. Well, it was interesting that they sent me a very similar car. One is darker paint and one is white paint. And I think that was supposed to, I was supposed to be wowed by that. Oh, it's the same kind of car. I don't see how that fits in there. Um, but of course, many people believe the younger girl is Walina. Walina, not Walina, not Wellina, but Walina. Walina, Wiwi. And so many people, as we look at the other picture of Sigrid, the younger picture of Sigrid Schultz or Schutz, don't know which one for sure, um, feel that that's the older version of Sigrid with the white car, with that fancy car. Is it, what is it again? Someone told me the model of the car. You car freaks will know exactly. I thought maybe Austin Martin, but they said no, it was something else. So we remain unconvinced that the younger girl is not young Walina, but we only speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. All right. So those are two more recent photos. Let me go to my phone. If you are prone to not liking phone photos, just hide your face for a minute, okay? No need to say, oh, it's not very good. I can't see it. I try to give you Google Photos whenever I can. But this one here, um, goes way back to the verdict, and perhaps the top 21 reasons. This one is not up anymore. The top 20 reasons why Bob Joyce may be Elvis that we did years ago. And when we were showing the two Bob Joyces at the time, I didn't know there might be more than two. I know that there's Robert Wayne Joyce and Pastor Bob Joyce. To me, in my opinion, they're two different people. But this is one of the early ones that we showed. And of course, anytime I try to put something in live, It seems to go better when I do it in a pre-recorded video. I don't know why the lighting would be better for that. So that's being totally washed out, and this won't be any better. It's the same photo. There it is, kind of. I'm just showing this for ha-has. Nobody needs to say you can't see it. I'll accept it if you can't, okay? I will try to do it in a pre-recorded video where you can see it, and maybe we'll roll it in, or I'll get a Google photo of it. But that's not very good, and I understand that. So, church construction is going fast at the horse barn in 10 minutes away from where the church is now, outside of Benton, Arkansas, but I believe still in the same county. The men are out there working. That's a good one. I think that should show up just fine. And here's one more. Not bad for holding the phone up. There it is. What I'm starting to think, though, what I'm starting to worry about is they're making these rooms and compartments, and how is that going to affect the overall plan to have considerably more seating? I understand you want to have everything in the horse barn. I thought maybe they'd do a prefab building right next to it for the fellowship hall, because if at the end of the day you say we got 100 more seats, well, okay, and no problem will really be solved, because where's the overflow room going to be there? So there's really a need for a lot more than 100 more seats. So I don't know what the plan is, and they sure don't care what I think. But we got to send the Starbucks crew out there. We have not too far from the state police barracks and in the outskirts of Middletown. It, it wasn't that long ago where we looked over and said, uh-oh, what's that going to be? And the usual guess is Starbucks. It's the most likely thing, unless you can tell by the design, it's not going to be a Starbucks. And so we both guessed, Karen and I both guessed Starbucks. And then, um, uh, they're open for business. Before you know it, they're open for business. Cars in the parking lot and what have you, they just know how to do it and do it fast. And so that's how that goes. So that's just a few photos for you there. More to come, and I'll get some more Google photos. So I'm glad you're there, Keith Griffiths from the UK. Getting late there, right? It's late. And we said hello to Sue. What are we discussing? Well, there is the title to the program is simply showing you a few more new photos, and then your topics are welcome. And if you're addressing that to the group, your topics are welcome as well. Hope that helps with pronouncement. If you write it out so that a fourth grader could understand it, or even younger, Leicestershire. I think it does help, Keith Griffiths. How come you have an S on Griffith, huh? Does Andy Griffith know about this? Well, he's in heaven now. Leicestershire, UK. It certainly does help. Thank you. I appreciate that, because if there's a way to mispronounce it, I usually find it. I'm pretty good at that. I heard some think that it's not always pastor, not there. It's always pastor on camera. It's always pastor on camera. Now, I have a very reliable source who has been to the church more than once. And as we have told this story before, when she came in the foyer, there was another man who looked just like Pastor Bob, but maybe like his younger brother. And he seemed to be in a hurry to get out of there. But she did see him. He nodded his head or what have you, and then just walked out a door. And then as they walked into the sanctuary, coming out of another door was Pastor Bob. So she saw two Pastor Bobs or two lookalikes in the course of a minute and a half or something. So, just one of the amazing stories. We have another source that said that there was a church luncheon and the Pastor Bob, in the role of Pastor Bob, that came to the luncheon was not our Pastor Bob, but a different one. And both of those sources are pretty reliable and trustworthy. But everybody knew this other Pastor Bob. Everyone knew him and blended in with him. I don't know about Walina and what have you. I didn't get all the skinny, but that was another story of someone saying that they have seen two at the church, but on camera, always Pastor Bob. I've never seen a sermon where there's been any doubt that I was looking at the man that we have been talking about since 2018, who, in my opinion, seems to have materialized in 2018. Now, someone commented in one of the videos, maybe I'll find it, uh, and this would be, something that would be a valid possibility to say, since we all know Pastor Bob Joyce himself is a gifted construction man. He's helping. If not leading the effort to convert the former horse stable into a temporary church. I hope it'll be temporary. I won't. I hope it doesn't stop there. Um, so just like he was very active in the interior construction of the church they're in now. I mean, he had the buzz saw going and everything. Um, this person said that they worked with Pastor Bob in construction for 29 years. And he even gave the Teamsters local, I think it was Teamsters, had to be 690, something like that. Maybe I'll find that comment. All interesting comments. Of course, they're never, set by any verification. No one ever emails me even an attempt at verification. They just say, yeah, it's true. I saw a leprechaun on the bridge here in Ireland, where I live. There was a leprechaun, and he looked just like the one on the Lucky Charms box. Oh, okay. Now we know there's leprechauns, and they're hanging out, and they look just like the leprechauns on the Lucky Charms box. People just say stuff. Switch your light source off to show phone photos. Yeah, I have tried that too. I wish I had more professional lighting. Um, I repositioned my light source so that you can see the photos better behind me. Say, but if you want me to try that, Keith, I will try that. I mean, if I get any darker in here now, it's going to look like I'm going to have to do my shows from a bicycle. Some of you get that joke, and some of you don't. Yeah. It's now if I turn all the lights off, I don't know what you're going to see. See? No, it doesn't work. So we have to send them to Google Photos, that's all. We have to send them to Google Photos. Okay. And that moved the camera, and you can see my second mattress very well now. Yeah, it moved the camera. Okay, pretty good. ah. I usually do these things in pre-recorded videos, but I wanted to pop on and say hello, everybody, and give you a chance to, talk with each other. Karen Holman, who is the wife of our border czar, Tom Holman. I'm just joking with you, but when I see the name Holman, I think of that wonderful border czar that we have now that's working his butt off, and they've got some really violent criminals that came over to the United States. The worst first is their slogan, the worst first. And so how are you, Lizard Lounge Radio? What's on your playlist, huh? What is on your playlist? Good to have you with us. Greg Hines, did we ever find out if Bob Joyce was at the inauguration? I've been thinking that that's been rolling around in my medulla and my cerebellum, Greg Hines, but someone, of course, will say that he was. That's for sure. A picture to go with it, something that could be used as substantial proof. But I was going to start looking into that a little bit for Saturday night, so it's interesting that you mentioned that. He's such a handsome man with his white hair, and if he were wearing a tux at one of the balls, it would definitely stick out. Someone would get a photo. I see, Keith says, Griffin. Oh, yes. Dr. Griffin was my dentist in the 60s. Griffiths, all common Welsh names. I see. I think Jesse died Sue A at childbirth. We would have noticed if there were two Presley twins around all those early years. We would have noticed. So I've never been a Jesse guy, you know. The best one I'll read you from an email that we have talked about before, but a possibility that I had not thought of. I'll read you a little bit of that if I can find it on the fly. If not, I'll have to remember it from memory, which could always be bad. Let's see here. Sylvia's mother is here. Sylvia wanted to let you know I enjoy your show. So you are Mr. Sylvia or a friend? Hi. And that's very, very nice. Sylvia wanted to let you know I enjoy your show. Or she enjoys the show, or you both do. One of you can't stand me, and the other one likes me. I get it now. Jack, you look like you're in dark shadows. No, I look like I should be getting on a bicycle. And I'm going to have to get a dog. I'm not getting another dog. We had a dog, Geisha. Geisha, what kind of dog was that again? Karen's watching. I always forget live. I forget the brand of the dog. In other words, the breed of the dog. He's buried in the backyard now. She's buried in the backyard now. And that was enough. We're getting into those years now where the last thing you want is a dog being one more thing that you can fall over, hit the ground over. We've had a few doctor's visits this week for Karen. And, dealing with these Medicare Advantage plans, I can understand the frustration. Not that you should kill the CEO. I'm not saying that. But I hope Dr. Oz can do something about this because it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Now these Medicare Advantage plans, whether it be Aetna, whether it be United Healthcare, whether it be one of the other ones, they don't want to pay for anything. They want to pay a portion. They want you to pay $300 for an MRI. But first, before we're even going to grant the MRI or the MRA, they're going to put you through hoops, go to physical therapy 3 times a week, which is going to cost you $35, $40 a clip. Add that up times 12, for the month. And then maybe they'll do it. And then what are they going to do? I heard about this story from someone, I won't say who, that they had approved a procedure that I believe involved breast reconstruction. And they had just opened the patient up when they got a call from the healthcare insurer that no, it's not approved. And they said, we've already started. And they said, well, just sew them back up. This kind of BS is what we don't need. We need something better than these morons that are no better than the drug dealers on the street making a statement to a medical team, or we'll just sew them up then. You don't have the authority. We need to get rid of these. You know what? That's what they are. That's what they are. A part of the anatomy. That's got to change. We can't have, we're going to lower the prescription drug. Well, what about all the copays and stuff like that, that seniors have to pay out? I'm very fortunate that I worked for the city of New York for 19 years. So I have a policy that is a cut above. Otherwise, I don't think I ever would have got my Camzyos that cost a lot of money, almost $100,000 a year, and I pay a $5 $100,000 a year, and I pay a $5 copay for, but that's through the city of New York. So I'm sure a lot of people that would benefit from Camzyos, for those who have cardiomyopathy, we're told, no, you can't have it. Your Medicare Advantage plan isn't going to pay for it. We can do better than this. And we're going to have more money coming into our country now. We're just worked out a deal. I mean, President Trump has been so busy in the last 3 days. I mean, he's done more in the last 3 days than Biden did in 4 years, or maybe throughout his entire 50-year political career. He's worked out a deal that's worth billions and billions from Saudi Arabia. There's that prince that seems to want to work with us. And Brett Baer interviewed him back in 2023. I'm not saying that they are great, honorable, godly people, but they have an interest in working with the United States. So, you have trust but verify. You keep an eye on them. You keep an eye on them. And Trump is pretty good at that. He's pretty good at knowing when he's being played. So you won't get away with it. You won't get away with it. But he's been doing a lot of good things. Some of you may disagree with some of the things that he's doing. And, this is the United States of America. One thing that I knew in the back of my mind, if there's one cabinet member, not that he's been confirmed yet, that is going to be a potential problem in the sense that he is just like Trump. He says things without really considering, is this the best way I could put something, or is this the best way I could do a wave, would be another reason, is Elon Musk. Trump is talking to these 3 businessmen, and they're pledging what could lead to $1 trillion, and Elon Musk is going crazy on his X Twitter that he owns. And Elon is now a trillionaire, by the way. And he's saying they don't have the money. They don't have the money. It would be better to talk to the president privately about that. You don't want to. This could be something bad. You don't want to. You can't do that to Trump. He doesn't like it. He'll excuse it in the case of Elon to a point. But then I could see problems coming from that. So be thankful that you have the ear of the president and that he is interested in some of your biggest goals. And don't be too quick to get on your platform and to make statements like something that the president is pretty excited about isn't going to happen. They don't really have the money. Da 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 da. No surprise there. Um, and what was that? I mean, what was that salute or wave he did? It wasn't the Nazi salute, but it sort of looked like a different version of it. And not a good idea. Not a good idea. So it's going to be interesting, but the good will overwhelm the bad. The good, we've already had so much bad for 4 years. Already the good is coming forth, and it's going to be a hell of a ride. You're going to feel like you're on the newest, fastest, most upside downy roller coaster at Great Adventure that you ever have even viewed from the pavement. It's gonna be something like that, but a lot of good things are happening. And those I didn't have any idea that under Biden's watch with Christopher Wray and Mayorkas, that they were putting senior citizens who had just stood outside of an abortion clinic to exercise their right to protest peacefully, that they put them in jail. So Trump is taking care of all that. I don't know who Joe Biden thinks he is, but if that's a Christian man, if that's a Christian man, then I am Rapunzel. And I don't even know who Rapunzel is. I'll get down off my soapbox. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, I'm technologically impaired. There's no doubt about it, but we can roll things in when we really need to. Um, how are you, Teresa Lee Leonard? Hello, Jack. Hello, hello. Shelley made it from Canada. Yes, she did. Our soon to be our 51st date. What else do I have in pictures here? Oh, yes. Shelley, just for you. Here's Johnny Baraserio, I think is his last name, right? From Jesse Waters. I'm probably going to miss him. He's going to be on tonight, too. I can't be here too long because Karen wants to hang out and, watch some TV. This is a pop on to pop off, but we'll be here for a while. Here's Johnny in Canada welcoming everybody he saw on the street. Congratulations, you're going to be part of the United States. Not everybody seemed to approve of what he was saying. There he is standing out there in Canada, welcoming the Canadians to the United States. Got some interesting reactions. He did. I love Johnny on Jesse Waters. And this is another shot of the pier that we have visited so many times in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. The pier there. Isn't that beautiful? Old Orchard Beach. We have been up there and been to several of the businesses. They change from year to year. But we love Old Orchard Beach. The water is never warm there, though. Not really. Never warm. In August, it's still cold. So you walk through it a little bit, but you can't really swim. It's so strong. Here's Richard Lyon. I don't think is here right now that I see. But Richard Lyon with his big television set sent me that picture. There we are. Looking very colorful. From Richard Lyon's home in West Palm Beach, Florida. Picture of my Victoria Winters book, written by Marilyn Ross, a fictitious story that was not actually in the Dark Shadows series chapter, but that's a portrayal of Alexandra Mocha, who played Victoria Winters. So there you go. Pam Donley. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Pam's been sending me some nice stuff. Thank you so much. I'm still looking at that. Nice and warm here, 21 degrees. Yeah, it doesn't tell me my temperature right here. Well, if I bring it up, 15. It was like in the 20s today when we went to Mr. Washy Laundry. And it's supposed to be as high as 32 tomorrow. Maybe I'll wear shorts. 32 tomorrow. But it's been brutal, it's been brutal. Economy is so back, says Greg Hines. A lot of the malls in Houston and surrounding areas are slowly going down. Stores in them are closing down. This has been happening for years now. Have you heard of Amazon? That plays a major role. Are closing down. Malls will soon be non-existent. Well, what's happening here, and I don't know about where you are, Greg, but is instead of the anchor stores, there's all these fun centers for younger people, where you can do everything from paintball to a series of video games and other things that we sure didn't have in the old penny arcade that we used to have in our a mall when it was called the Orange Plaza Mall, or where you would go down to Broadway and there would be a wonderful arcade right there in Times Square, that area. In other words, you would come up 42nd Street after you got off the bus at the Port Authority terminal, and would make a left, and the arcade would be just a ways up, and it was just an exciting place. You toss the ball to see what number you can get it in. What do you call that? Skeet ball or whatever it was. But that arcade, I'd like to get a time machine and go back to 1966 in Manhattan, because I have some wonderful memories of that. The Horn and Hearted, where all the food was behind glasses. You put a quarter in. I said a quarter, and pull out the cherry pie, all kinds of things there, hot and cold food at the Horn and Hearted. Bring your quarters because you're going to need them, Not everything was a quarter, of course. It would cost a little more, but you could get a meal for $1, $1.25. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Brenda. You are here. Hi, Brenda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Above you is Carmen Sylvia from New Zealand. What's the temp? Oh, you'll give me the Celsius temperature. I don't know my Celsius chart, you see. Is it warm or cold? I could ask you that. I miss Pac-Man. What about Miss Pac? There was Miss Pac-Man. Is that what you're saying? There was a female version of Pac-Man, wasn't there? For me at the arcade back then, there was a game called Berserk. All I know is you were shooting everybody. Berserk. Other than that, I was never really that much into those kind of games. Not really a pinball wizard by any stretch of reality. I wasn't. Has anyone noticed that Gene Ho interview was re-edited at the end when he asked Pastor Bob if he was Elvis Presley? Well, I never saw an interview where he asked him if he was Elvis Presley. I never saw any indication of that when he did the interview for George Magazine. He stayed far away from anything like that I ever saw. I don't think that he would do something like that because he wants to stay in Pastor Bob's good graces. So he was very careful. Sometimes when he's doing his own remotes, well, he gets a little more wild and he drops hints. And of course, he did say, if I told you Elvis Presley was still alive, would you believe me? If I told you JFK was still alive, would you believe me? No, you wouldn't. So either way, he just keeps those plates up in the air. And, he's an excellent juggler. So I've never heard him go anywhere near that. I saw him being very careful in how he conducted that interview at the church. But maybe you saw something I didn't see. Well, when Gene Ho interviewed me, Sue, he was saying that one of the things he appreciated about me is that I just present possibilities, and basically he's quoting me saying, "Well, I don't know." It's not exactly how I put it, but I understood what he was trying to do. So when I interviewed him, uh, which was put on the George Magazine website, and when he interviewed me, which was put on both sites, both times the video with Gene Ho, him interviewing me and me interviewing him through his technology, he could have cut something out if he wanted to, and I wouldn't have been taken offense. Both times he was very guarded, and I did mention to him that he had gotten in trouble for mentioning the E word on the official Household of Faith site. Um, uh, Please don't say the E word. And so we joked about that a little bit, but I think it was him that brought up the E word before I did. But he's very careful. He Anyone associated, if Elvis Presley is still alive, is going to be very careful not to step over the line, but to fulfill the wishes of Elvis Presley, should he still be alive. I just speak of possibilities. 19 here, huh? Okay, so you get cold too. I guess I knew it would be cold in New Zealand. So Carmen, say whenever your summer is, I'm not going to assume your summer is like, June, July, and August, like here. I don't know. What would be your high temperature that you would be likely to see? Rob Barber is in Ontario. Rob Barber is in Ontario. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gail Easter Coolman is here. Yes, I got those pictures that your husband sent me on the through my email. Through my email, I got those. I don't think I got an answer as whether you would want me to use any of them, and I won't use them unless I get permission. There was one picture I pointed out to your husband that I would especially like to use, and you're not even in it. But if you want me to show your picture, I'll send them to Google Photos. I'll send them to Google Photos. It'll take a little while, but I'll do it that way. People who have seen him at Household of Faith said once you talk to him, you know it's him. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. He was so attentive to his guest, right? He is, and but if somebody steps over the line, he looks very uncomfortable, and tries to push that away quick. Yeah, don't go in there with a plan to be thinking you're clever and you're cool and you'll sneak it in the back way. Um, you won't you won't be happy with you won't be happy when that bodyguard is escorting you out the door. If I can send the video pulling out the tie I gave him for his birthday, you'd like me to show that picture then? Um, I'm sure your husband can do that on his iPhone, right? If it's a video, then I'll have Andy come up here and we'll roll it in that way. We'll roll it in that way. I do have a tech guy. I just don't like to bother him too much. Shelly has a head cold. Head cold. Instead of making love, we've got head colds. I'm looking up there at one of my pictures from a barber shop in Port St. Lucie, Florida, when I was there to see Jimmy Sturr a few years back. And the name of the shop is called Head Games. Head Games. Instead of making love, we're playing head games. Yes, 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 Lou Graham. Lou seems to be doing a little better. He did have a brain tumor, the lead singer, former lead singer of Foreigner. They got a younger chap now. That's what they do. That's what they do so many times. Uh, his reaction is priceless. Yeah, just like when somebody bought him the guitar that looked like the one in Blue Hawaii. I would love to have a video of that reaction. Yes, yes. And people to this day say, that's the Elvis guitar on the stage. Looks a little different to me in terms of the coloring uh, on the black guitar. Looks a little different, but maybe I'm just wrong about that. And Sue says it's the same one. Okay. Um, Nancy Whitmore is here talking to Brenda. And Aisha, are you here? If not, I'm going to get yelled at in the thread. Yeah, if you're going to do a pop on to pop off, you got to tell us about it. Well, then it's not really a pop on to pop off, is it? Sometimes like this, I'm not really sure until I get that feeling in my gut. I got to get up there and talk to the people. Saturday nights at 10 p.m., that's usually something we do every week. And so, and hopefully, Republic Overwatch, Bob Joyce was Elvis. Well, what makes you say that? Republic Overwatch? That's an interesting handle you got there. Neil, what do you think? We still have snow on the Gross. Yeah, we had 5 inches of snow a few days ago, which was the most we've had this year so far. But and it's not like we still don't have snow because it's been so cold. It's not melting. Maybe a little melt this weekend, but 4 degrees here. Oh dear. So so it's not going to rain in 4 degrees. You're going to have ice if there's precipitation. Have you had any ice and snow there, Keith Griffiths? Arcades were fun. I sort of disliked the way they looked more than the fact that I got so thrilled because I'm never good at this stuff. I told myself I wouldn't be, and sure enough, I was right. I've done this all my life. So, the fact that I never excelled in any sport at all is not a surprise. I told myself I couldn't climb that rope in the gym, and sure enough, I never climbed that rope in the gym. Jack, can you make some homemade chicken dumplings? Chicken and dumplings, Brenda. Unless you mean a soup that's got those little dumplings, those little tiny dumplings in there. This seems like they just are. They're fake dumplings, Brenda. But chicken and dumplings. Oh, my mother made that. It's pretty simple to do. Um, Use Bisquick. That's a real dumpling. Use Bisquick. Bisquick. They don't even put the recipe for dumplings on the box anymore. Just have to go to the internet and you'll find the Bisquick recipe for dumplings there. But that is a comfort food that I always eat too much of. Chicken and dumplings with carrots and onions. You do it on top of the stove. And after the chicken is cooked and what have you, you put you've made your batter with Bisquick and whatever else it requires, and you put it on there and you cover it up for 10 minutes, and then you take the lid off and cook for another 10 minutes, and you get big, fluffy dumplings, and that is like having grandma's homemade macaroni and cheese. Sean Williams, Canada says hello. Well, you've got some fellow Canadians. Say hello to Shelley, campaign president for Donald Trump, but in the country of Canada. Well, let's put it this way, Sean. Today you're a country. Tomorrow, it could be the 51st state. And Greenland could be 52nd state. And then there's that Panama, do-do, do-do-do. Um, just a canal. We just want the canal. I don't know what's going to go on with that, but I know Greenland could use some partnership. Things aren't going there that good. My goodness, does it ever warm up in Greenland? You know, we wonder about that. How warm does it get in Alaska? I'll have to ask. I'm going to see someone tomorrow night that lives in Alaska. So I'll ask, how warm does it get in Alaska? That's where they shot the movie Insomnia. Fantastic movie with the late, great Robin Williams and Mr. Super great. Also, Al Pacino. And what's her name there? I don't want to forget her. She played a boy, major movie star as well. She played a boy, and then she was exposed to be really a girl. I wonder how that would play now in this environment, you know? Republic Overwatch says it's easier for impersonators to mimic EP in the fast and loud songs. But when you hear Bob sing the slower songs, like I knew you would go to this one, like American Trilogy from Denton's in Benton and Can't Help Falling in Love, there is no doubt in my mind. It's a very valid comment, Republic Overwatch. We have a video here. Well, you know, we play that footage from Denton's and Benton's, and we play just a snippet in another video of Can't Help Falling in Love. I think that's in the seven reasons, seven something that that people point to as Bob being Elvis. I'll have to look at my video list. I can do that. Lynn Redgrave is here. She's a spirit now. She's flying here and flying there. If she says it's too cold where she is, she just flies over to Port St. Lucie. You pretty much got to go that far into Florida for it to be warm right now. Can you believe that? What's that? Not Pompano Beach, but the other P place in Florida. Jacksonville, 33 degrees. They had snow. Other places that haven't had snow in over 118 years getting snow. I never said there was nothing to climate change. I just said that it's certainly not just a heat thing. It's just as much a cold thing. And try as man will, you're not going to change that by the fact that you drive an electric car. So now you can choose to drive an electric car. But we're going to head towards the belief that since this is not communist China, you can't be forced to drive an electric car, as Trump is signing away the new Green Deal scam, as he puts it. Of course, much of this stuff, some of this stuff, will be challenged in the courts. Already, the citizens' birthright thing that he signed the other day is being challenged. He knew it would be. He knew it would be. But ICE has arrested a number of really bad people. This guy from Haiti was saying, "I'm not going back there," but he's got 17 felonies on his record. Sorry, sorry, we can't trust you. We can't have you visiting our local schoolyard. But it's the worst first. Do I think they should get rid of grandma who's been here 40, 50 years or more? Absolutely not. I don't think that. President Trump has acknowledged we need workers, some on work passes that work in the fields and what have you. And then we need brilliant immigrants that can be doctors and lawyers. It's not just Asians that can do that, but people from any country. There are smart people in every group of people, but we can't have millions and millions of people that just waltz into the country and then say, well, where's my Medicare? I'm 23 years old. Where's my Medicare? Where's my hotel room? And by the way, the food's lousy. I don't like it. We need better food from our hotel room. And we can't do that. We can't do that. Other countries have to be responsible for their people. And Trump is also good at working with other governments for their people to be treated more humanely. So he's got so much on his agenda. My dad would have been very upset if we go to Florida to escape the winter as it follows you. Well, you remind me of the time I walked into Opie's Barbecue in Dripping Springs, Texas. And I met Opie himself was there, sitting at a table. We were going to experience some of his brisket and banana pudding and some of the other things at Opie's. And I told him I was from New York, and he said, "Yeah, you brought the cold weather with you." It was for my daughter's wedding, and it was very chilly, like in the 40s. For them, that's very cold. But Tuesday, they had some snow in the Austin, Texas area, and my son's trucking company just said, "No, we're not delivering today. We're not delivering today." So that meant, was that Monday? No, it was Tuesday. And so that meant Wednesday, my son had a 14-hour day trying to make up. All the truck drivers did, trying to make up because people need their food. He works for Temptation. You gotta be focused because they're exercising in there, and it's you know he's an honorable man. So I will shut up talking about my son. He says he never watches, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Amanda by Boston. Yes. Acunia? Acunia? Something like that. Been 1 HOR now. Are you trying to say 1 hour? 7 a.m. So late? Huh? Where are you from, Amanda? Where? Oh, there you are, saying hello to all. Carmen says in Alaska, it can reach the high 80s to low 90s. Really? Well, thank you for that, Carmen. I know there's times of the day, there's times of the year when it never gets dark in Alaska, correct? So there they were filming Insomnia, Robin Williams and Al Pacino, and that wonderful actress whose name at the moment I just can't get uh, out. I can't access the file. Um, and Robin Williams had been on the wagon for quite some time. But they had downtime, of course, from their shooting and what have you. It didn't seem like it was too cold of a time there, maybe fall type weather. And that's where he told himself that, I could drink a little. I could drink a little. And he said that was the start of another steep ride to the bottom. As soon as Insomnia stopped filming, and he was brilliant in it, he went into rehab again. Because he had a total relapse. You can't, it's like me trying to have one slice of pizza. I can do the one slice, but I've never been an alcoholic. I'm someone who can have an occasional, drink like a frozen margarita every once in a while and go 4 months and not have another one. But alcoholics say it's something that sticks with you for the rest of your life, just like sexual addiction. If we're going to be honest, just like sexual addiction, you never really get free of it. You just learn to manage it, and you don't usually get past repression. You don't have total freedom usually. Not on this earth. Happy early birthday, Brenda. Happy early birthday, Brenda. We're apart, I know. But somehow I turned your birthday song into a carpenter's Christmas ditty. I went to a country Western show. Yeah, we got both types of music where I'm from, Greg Hines. We got country and we got the Western. We got country and we got the Western. By the way, everybody, you'll see a thanks button there. I have to mention this because we are way low this month. We are way concerningly low this month. Some of that's my fault, but yet I've done some pre-recorded videos and what have you, which have done okay. Nobody tends to hit the thanks button in those pre-recorded videos, which is disappointing because new people come in there. I'm always looking for new people, whether it be $1, $2, $5. I did the topic for free for 6 years. I was a content creator just because I love doing this topic because everybody else does too. You know, $1, $2, $5, $10, or for those of you that have been really blessed and you've been watching me for years, maybe this would be a great month, and I would recommend that you go to the Cash App that I have for the bigger contributions, because I get more of it when you go to Cash App. If you have Cash App, it's only available in the United States and the UK, I believe. My handle on Cash App, and by the way, it took me over an hour to say this, is Media Guy 56, lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. Hello, replay crowd. You can do that there, and I'll be sure to thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't feel you won't get plenty of thanks, because I will say it on the Saturday night show, and perhaps more than once. Media Guy 56, lowercase letters, MEDIAGUY 56, Media Guy 56, especially for, the higher contributions, if you have been so blessed. Never go beyond your budget, but, 2023 really was the year, and it got worse in 2024, where my pension became smaller for reasons I don't want to, elaborate on. But so now it's a struggle, and I'm looking for a certain amount every month, and I'm about at least $300 short of that. At least $300 short. I think we've got how many videos up now? A ton, on all angles of the Bob Joyce Elvis story and other things. When I do the Homage to Rush series, talking about political stories, it's my little tribute to Rush Limbaugh. I don't have his talent. I don't certainly have the audience he had, but those videos don't make money. I can't monetize them because I use the Rush Limbaugh theme song because it belongs there, and I want it to be good for you, so I'll compromise and take nothing from it unless someone hits the thanks button there, which they don't. So if you can hit the thanks button for any amount, that would be wonderful right here. If you don't find it in the replay right away, you can find it in another recent video. All goes into the same pot, which is for the third week in February, when I'm going to have to pay taxes on last year's tips. So this is looking, I am not as optimistic as I was in July, let's say. So if you can, it would be very much appreciated. Let's see here. Off to sleep now. Thank you for your company, one and all. Kiss, kiss, says Keith Griffiths. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Thanks for stopping by. And so there you go. There you go. Joe Mann is here. He the man. Revelation 12 is what we're waiting for. You can share that with us if you want, Joe Mann. On the pop-ons, I don't usually read scripture at the end. I do on Worldwide Ramblings at 10 p.m. East Coast time this Saturday night. Jackie, Oregon. Hi, Jack. I've been watching from Australia. Yeah, we get quite a few people from Australia. And no, you can't use the Cash App there. Oh, thank you, Keith. Before he left us, he hit the Cash App for $4.99. $4.99. Thank you. And that's a very cute chipmunk or whatever it is. Is that a kitty cat? I'm not sure. Thank you. Rob Barber and Hillary Swank. Thank you, Pam Donnelly. I hate when I just can't get it into my head. She's such a wonderful actress, isn't she? And she was so good in Insomnia. Yeah. And a whole bunch of other roles, too. Down under, Amanda. So, did your dad live in Florida? And he would say, it seems every time you come to visit, it gets colder. Well, you definitely weren't going in August, right? When it was 111 degrees in Florida. And you don't want to go in September, October. You could be blown away in a hurricane. Best time to be there is from like November through April. But what we're finding more and more, and there is real climate change, is that you know if you're not at least as far in as Port St. Lucie, obviously Miami, you'll be safe and good. Maybe not in terms of crime, but in terms of warmth. But it is just so interesting that it's snowing in Georgia, snowing in parts of the state of Florida now. Now we have a new big fire out there in Los Angeles, and I don't think it's that far from places like Bel Air and what have you. I really don't. So, are these fires being set? What's the story there? Um, it makes you wonder. Been a fun week watching the telly, keeping an eye on President Trump and Kid Rock, and um, seeing. It was very gratifying to see Marco Rubio unanimously be voted our new Secretary of State. He'll do a wonderful job. And now Radcliffe is in as the CIA director. Uh, if um, if we put a blindfold on and tie both hands behind his back and maybe earplugs, he could still do a better job than the last one. Obviously, we need somebody strong in the DOJ. And I was gratified to see that even our Attorney General here in New York, Letitia James, was saying that it's not like they're not willing to work with President Trump at some level. So she's kind of, even her, she's changing her tune. So pretty soon, the mayor and the governor of Illinois, of Chicago for the mayor, and of the state of Illinois in general for the governor, what is it, Pritzker or whatever his name is, they're going to have to learn that you cannot harbor fugitives. That this idea of a sanctuary state, sanctuary cities, is against the Constitution of the United States. It's like you're saying we won't uphold the Constitution. We are not. We are not obligated to follow these laws. We will encourage people that came here illegally, some of which are hardcore criminals, and some are wonderful people just seeking a better life. They just have to do it legally. We can't let everybody in because it's not just Mexico. It's dozens of other countries. So they're going to have to learn that not only will you lose funding, but you're subject to arrest. Governor, you're subject to arrest. Mayor, God, they had what's her name there, Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, and they found someone just as much of a clown as she was. I mean, it's the voters' fault too, you know. You complain about the government, you show up at town hall meetings and raise bloody hell, but you elect a clown like that to be your mayor in Chicago. This is the kid that got bullied on the playground, you know, but now he's Mr. Big Man. He doesn't have your interest at heart. He doesn't know how to balance a budget. He doesn't know how to make good things come in your city. He just wants to spend the money on people that just waltzed in here. But those kids that are missing, and there are thousands of them, I don't think the plan is to ship them back. Some of them came into the country by themselves. I think there will be compassion there. There should be. There absolutely should be. You have to still go case by case and not go crazy. To be honest with you, my mom, who came here from Liverpool, England, never got around to become a legal citizen. And in her later years, when she was struggling with mental illness, as she had in the past, but it was now easily medicated and she'd be fine. It's just when she stopped taking her meds, bad things happened. But it bothered her, and I think her caregiver did something to make her legal in the later years of her life because she was always worried about that and ashamed of that she hadn't become a legal citizen of the United States of America. Oh, you went to a country and western show in Dripping Springs. We were at a very nice facility in Dripping Springs where they had the wedding reception, but I can't remember what it was called. Back in '74, wow. It was a hot dust bowl place. Well, we went when it was kind of cold, you know. We ended up all going to the inside part after a while because it was getting colder as the evening came in. But it was a very nice time. I got to dance with my daughter and what have you, and I I am not currently able to do that, and I hope that relationship is restored. Don't take the microchip in the forehead. Well, I heard, Joe Man, if I get a tattoo, I will get a $500 gift certificate to Amazon, and it's just a simple three numbers, I think. What is it now? Six, six, six. I think that's what it was. Anything wrong with that, Joe Man? Oh dear. Lynn Redgrave says, fires were bad last night. I was not prepared. I could not get home. Everyone should be prepared for anything. Yeah, especially when you have a jackass mayor and a jackass governor. If we're talking California, I didn't realize you lived there. Okay, you've told me before, probably. Well, Aisha has snuck in here, I see now, and probably a different handle again because I don't see the old one. And so I see how this is going to be. Okay, it's Amanda. Yeah. All right. Why would we be changing our name every time we come in here? Why? All right. So that's the story. That's the story. Saturday night at 10 o'clock for Worldwide Ramblings. No need to change your name every time you come in here. um, so, guys, I hope continue to be able to do this as frequently as I do it. But there is a bottom line that's involved for me. I don't get 50,000 views, 100,000 views, 150,000 views. This story, although new content keeps being produced, keeps getting produced, um, someone else comes along and saturates it completely, and then they see a significant drop, but you know, they still have success, but it really affects everybody. And then we've got these anonymous voices that you hear on many different things, not just the Elvis Bob Joyce topic, but you hear on other things. And it it doesn't it hurts all the creators. It hurts all the creators, and including the one that's doing that, and the misconception is that will make your other stuff more noticed, and no it won't. No it won't. It just doesn't work that way. Just doesn't work that way. Maybe a little bit, So, so there you go. Let's see here. I should have known. Just went to the Cash App, which is Media Guy 56, lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. Once again, Mr. Todd Bradshaw has hit the Cash App for $20. Thank you so much, Todd. I hope that is well within your budget. I don't want people to go beyond their budget or be pinched in any way, but I thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. We're in a downslide here, unfortunately, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to do my best, but it gets tougher and tougher. I don't want to feel that every week I got to do 2 or 3 videos with Bob Joyce in the title because that makes me uncomfortable that I love the pastor, I respect the pastor. I want to put up positive stories about Household of Faith. I don't want to keep, finding new ways to say the same thing. But there is an influx of new things that comes in, and I have sources, and they give me that. And you will see another pre-recorded video. But it's disappointing when something like Homage to Rush doesn't start to show more potential and what have you. The problem is the Rush Limbaugh audience is not part of my subscriber list, so they never really get a notification on it. It's random if somebody finds it. That's why I put a nice picture of Rush with a cigar, which, probably had a role to play in his life ending too early, too early. So thank you, Todd Bradshaw. We'll do more of your emails on Saturday night because there's some interesting theories and comments. But right now I see it's getting to the time where if I don't join Karen, she will disappear to her bedroom. On Saturday nights, we have more time. We have more time. But thank you, Todd. I appreciate that very, very much. So we popped on to pop off on this Thursday night. I appreciate everybody and replay crowd. Give us your comments in the comment section there, and we'll look forward to seeing. Yeah, they're on the replay, which should be available right away, Jackie. When I send them to Google Photos, it'll be better copies, but actually the construction photos came out pretty good, so you'll be able to see. I'm just hoping that they don't build so many compartments and rooms in the horse barn that they end up with 100 more seats or less than 100, because we know that's not enough. That's not enough. So we need Pastor Bob did say, he doesn't usually talk about funding, and they supposedly just have a box at the church. They don't collect an offering, which would be fine if they did, but they don't. He doesn't accept a salary for his services, and CD sales go into the church. But he did say, that they do need help with this building fund, and he wouldn't say no to $1 million. And if anyone deserves it, it's him. He's preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he's a wonderful man. Talk to you Saturday night, if not before, 10 p.m. East Coast time for Worldwide Ramblings. Bye-bye, everybody.